Hey guys, it's Thursday, which means it is time for a book review, and I'm very excited about this book review because it is from the infamous Banned Books list. And if you didn't know, this is Banned Books Week. It's actually the most challenged books. They don't call it banned anymore because you can't ban a book because you live in America. You are free to write what you want and read what you want. So I'm very excited to talk about this. This was an excellent, excellent book. It is Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. If you can see that cover, it is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't understand the cover at first, but then once I read the book, I got the whole symbolism with the tree and all that. I actually read a paper about it just today, actually. So I guess I'm going to tell you what the book was about if you don't already know, and then we'll go into why it was banned, in my opinion, on that. It is about a girl named Melinda Sordina who was raped at a party when she was, I believe, 14 years old by an upperclassman that goes to the same high school as her, and she freaks out, runs in, calls the cops, and the cops come. She freezes once they get on the phone. She can't speak to them. She just freezes. And she's like, how do I explain this? Was I even raped? Was it, I was drunk. I don't really remember. I don't really know what to call it. And so she doesn't say anything. She hangs up the phone. They trace the call, and they come to her house, or to the house of the party. And that's why it starts out at the beginning of the book. Everyone's kind of mad at her and talking about her. Even her best friend doesn't want to have anything to do with her because a lot of people got in trouble for having this party. There was underage drinking in the party, and a lot of people got in trouble. So a lot of people are really ticked off at her for causing that trouble. They all know she called the cops. They just didn't know that she was raped, so they didn't know why she had to call the cops. And the whole book is just really about her struggle to, she hasn't told anyone, not a living soul, what happened to her. It is really about her depression and what she's going through and how she has no friends. And then she has one friend, but then she doesn't have, they get into like a little thing and they're not friends anymore. And at the beginning of the school year, she decides to take an art class, and her teacher has everyone draw out a subject, and she pulls out the word tree. So that means she has to do a project about a tree and turn it in by the end of the year. And it's all about her drawing these trees and things like that. And in the beginning of the book, she starts out with this little tree that looks awful. She thinks it's horrible. She works on it really, really hard all throughout the year. And then at the end, she does come up with this beautiful tree that she loves. And the paper I was reading earlier said that it was really symbolic of her character development. How she does start out as this kind of small, not physically small, but this kind of small, insignificant person. She thinks she is small and insignificant, and she's wounded. And as she continues to work on this tree, make it better and better and better until it's this big, beautiful tree, that's kind of what she's coming into herself. She's really concentrating and working on getting through what she has gone through. I mean, like I said, she hadn't told anyone. That's a huge, huge secret to keep, especially if you have to go to the same school with the person that raped you. I just can't even imagine having to do that. And then one of her friends actually starts to date him, and she tells the girl what happened. And the girl, of course, doesn't believe her. She says, no, you're wrong about him. And I guess that girl goes and tells the person who raped her, because at the end of the school year, she is actually backed into a closet by him. And this closet is a place that she has kind of made her refuge throughout the school year. Whenever she skipped class, or there was a pep rally that she wanted to skip, she would go to this closet, which she had plastered with just pictures that she drew of other trees that she had been working on. He corners her in there, and he actually tries to rape her again or do whatever, but people hear her screaming, and they come to help her, and he gets in a lot of trouble, and she tells people what went on, and from there she heals, and everything is good. So, well, you get the feeling that everything is good, and it goes on, and everything is fine. It doesn't really say that, but that's the gist of the whole story. And which brings me to the reason that it was banned. It was actually banned because a professor at Missouri State University told parents in the school district that their kids were reading softcore porn. And he cited Speak as one of the books as softcore porn. Now, here's my thing. The sexiest part of this book is where he says, I know you want this. You're just jealous. You didn't scream before. You're not going to scream now. You liked what I did to you. What else does he say? He holds her arms down. He holds her wrist down. And he wants a free hand to do whatever he's going to do with her. That's the sexiest part of the book. And if that's softcore porn, then I want to have nothing to do with it. Because rape is not sexy. Rape is not fun. And for him to call it softcore porn just kind of shows him ignorant. Kind of shows his ignorance and how he really doesn't understand women at all. I don't even understand how this could be misconstrued into something sexy. Because when you say porn, you think of something that gets you going, that, turns you on. And I don't know what he's doing in his bedroom to be turned on by rape or to think that someone else would, but a healthy, normal person would not think that that is good. And he obviously doesn't understand women at all, or he would know that they don't find that sexy. A book that I do want to talk about that is not on the banned book list that I have, and that if my daughter came to me and said, I want to read this book or Speak, you choose, I would choose Speak for her to read because I find it less offensive than I found the Twilight series, especially Breaking Dawn. Not that there was anything offensive about it or anything bad, and I definitely do not think it's softcore porn. I don't want you to think that I think it's softcore porn. I absolutely don't. But I do find the material in that book to be a lot sexier and a lot more adult than I found in Speak. So if you're going to try to ban a book, all these kids were reading Twilight and watching the movies, and then there was the really sexy honeymoon scene that I would have been uncomfortable with. If I had been there with my 11, 12, 13-year-old daughter, I would have been uncomfortable with her seeing that. But if she wanted to watch the movie Speak, I would feel better about that. So yeah, I'm not really sure why it was banned or cited as softcore porn. It blows my mind that he probably went home and let his kids read about vampire sex, but not something in the real world that is this is actually a very good cautionary tale. She went to a party, she got drunk, and this is what happened to her. And again, I'm not saying that's going to happen to everybody who goes to a party and get drunk, but you need to take necessary precautions and things like that. It's a very cautionary tale that I would feel more comfortable letting my child read over one of the Twilight books. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with them. I don't want that to get misconstrued. It's just rape is not softcore porn. And also it said that they had glorified teenage drinking. And I don't think that at all either. I think, as a matter of fact, she said she was drinking and at first things were fine, and then she got really sick, and I think she even threw up at one point. So I'm not really sure why he thinks that teenage drinking was any more glorified in this book than on what, kids can see on television or hear adults talking about drinking all the time. So those are my opinions and my thoughts. So I hope I don't get any haters. Let me know what you all think. Let me know if you would consider this softcore porn. Let me know if you had read it and you were offended by it or whatever. I definitely give this book an A+, and it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I remember the movie as being really good, so I would give the movie an A+ as well. So it's something I definitely think you should read. It's beautifully written. I really like her writing style. I'm getting ready to read. I've actually read Catalyst, and that will be probably my next week's read. It is not a banned book, but it was a very good one as well. So I'll be doing that coming up. And also tomorrow, guys, is hashtag Friday Reads. Don't forget about it, because I really like watching everyone's to see what everyone's going to be reading over the weekend. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and bye. Have a good night.